Hello, today I have brought you a topic to think about in depth. He shines the sun on the righteous and on the unrighteous. Let us take a serious look at how these short words of Jesus differ from the equality and political correctness that we emphasize so much today. It's not just a religious story, it's a story about how we see the world and its fundamental differences. Part 1. The difference in source. First, let's look at the parable of the sunshine of Jesus. It is Matthew at 545. God shines the sun on the wicked and on the good, and sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. What is the key point of this statement? The essence of this principle is that the source of light lies outside of human consensus or institutions. Light is not something that can be received by human beings by proving their qualifications, nor does it work when it is decided by a committee or guaranteed by law. But what about equality and political correctness today? This is an attempt by humans to see the inequality and absurdity of reality, draw an ideal state without it in their minds, and then forcibly implant that abstract form into reality. Like Plato's idea, it takes a logical structure that the perfect form exists first, and reality must follow it. Just as Plato's philosopher, King, politics presupposes the sacrifice of the working class. As a matter of course, these concepts also logically require the sacrifice of a certain group for the purpose. Part 2. Differences in how they work. Sunlight works on the principle of life. Seeds sprout on their own when exposed to sunlight. Sunlight does not replace seeds for growth, provide the conditions, but growth is up to life itself. The core of Jesus' words is this spontaneity. Spiritual growth cannot be forced from the outside. It is achieved through the process of self-effort and sacrifice by each person within the grace given. On the other hand, political correctness and equality, on the contrary, try to operate mechanically and automatically. Political correctness and equality aim at the parity of results. As a result, the diversity of processes and the spontaneity of individual lives become obstacles. There are situations where you must reduce someone's share or force them to bear more in order to match the results. The system becomes more sophisticated and coercive, and humans become part of it. This is the difference between mechanical and vital operation. Part 3. Difference in the meaning of sacrifice. In Jesus' teachings, sacrifice is an expression of love and a driving force for growth. Jesus himself took up the cross by voluntary choice, not coercion. That sacrifice gives birth to life. Voluntary suffering becomes the power to grow the soul and save others. The subject of sacrifice is alive, and the meaning of sacrifice is completed in that subject. But what about sacrifice in the discourse of equality? The beneficiaries and the bearers are separated. Good intentions are put forward, but who will bear the cost is often missing. The phenomenon that appears in some European welfare states, that is, the structure in which benefits are demanded as a natural right, while the costs are passed on to others. This is what grows from that void. Those who are forced to sacrifice are deprived of the right to choose, and the meaning of sacrifice disappears with it. Part 4. The problem of substance. Sunlight is present and works in this moment. It is not someone's theory or agreement, but the act of a living being in reality. On the other hand, the concepts of political correctness and equality are abstract constructs, made by selecting only the good things. It is an ideal afterimage that remains after removing the complex context, costs, conflicts, and human limitations of reality. What happens when this illusion is set as an absolute standard? Anything that falls short of that standard becomes an evil that must be eliminated, and those who enforce the standard monopolize moral authority. This is the point where ideology becomes violent or coercive. Part 5. The Holy Spirit and the human spirit. The principles of Jesus enable the free movement of the Holy Spirit. In the grace given unconditionally, human beings can respond with their own conscience and free will. It is in this space that real moral growth takes place. However, political correctness risks eroding this inner space. When external language, norms, and standards of behavior precede inner judgments, humans become not true moral subjects, but adherents of norms. When fear or avoidance of punishment takes the place of goodwill, the free space for the Holy Spirit to work gradually narrows. Closing. Let me summarize today's story. This comparison is not merely about judging either side as right or wrong. The human desire for equality stems from its own legitimate moral intuition. However, we must face the fact that, if we try to embody that desire only in the language of institutions and coercion, it may not contain the life and love that it was originally intended to contain. Jesus' parable of sunshine teaches that true equality and righteousness have life only when they are rooted in grace, given from above, and bloom through voluntary sacrifice from below. It cannot be forced, it cannot be governed by abstract images, and it becomes a reality only through forgiveness and reconciliation, which are acts of living communion. What do you think about this topic? Share in the comments. Thank you for joining us today. Jesus